Hello guys and welcome to this guide of Path of Exile 2 where I'm gonna be showing you the best settings you can do for the game to just get started with the game or play the game on the longer run. So this involves your graphic settings, inputs, interface, game and all the other settings which you can do for the game. So yeah, let's get started. Now, first things first is the graphics. You need to have these tweaks tweaked out, and the best settings will enable you to play the game at a better FPS, at a better performance, and make the overall experience of the game uh, good for you. So yeah, let me take you through what I use as the best graphic settings for myself. So for display, I use a RTX 3060 Ti. So this is my graphics card. I use a Ryzen 5 5600X CPU with 32 gigs of RAM, and this game is installed on an NVMe M.2 SSD. So that is the hardware information. Now let's take you to the graphic settings. So the first thing is the render engine. I use a DirectX 12. This is most stable in this game. Mode is windowed full screen since I alt tab a lot. VSync is off. Dynamic resolution, I have turned this off. This is better for Path of Exile 2. Window resolution, this is my native resolution. I play on a 2K monitor, so this is the resolution I'm playing in. Upscale mode, NVIDIA DLSS, and image quality is quality. This is the best combination I found out that is helping me to achieve a decent visual and FPS as well. Sharpening quality for this is 55. You can ramp this up to even 60, but I think a good balance will be 55%. HDR is obviously off. These are your preferential settings. You can do whatever you want here. Let's come to the detail settings. So texture quality, obviously high. This is default. Since this is on UE5, you would want this game to look pretty good because there are good graphics effects and you need good texture quality to see them. Texture filtering 8x is good. You can also go for 4x. Don't go below this. The game doesn't look well if you go below this. However, if you're running on an older system, you can opt for trilinear as well. But I'll go for 8x. This is handling it quite well. So yeah. Lighting. This is shadows. I don't want to use this. This hogs up a lot of FPS. So that is your lighting settings. Shadow quality low, sun shadow low, number of lights is low, bloom is 100%. You can dial this down a little bit, but this doesn't hurt me at all. So yeah, water level detail low, advanced settings. Reflex is off. You can turn this on plus boost. I wouldn't tell you to do this. This will take some of our FPS, so you can put it as on as well. FPS cap, do not cap this. You can do it if you want. This is optional. Triple buffering is on. This gives you a better latency, like better effector latency. So yeah, dynamic culling off. Target frame rate is max 120. Engine multi-threading is on. Graphs, I use all graphs, but this is up to you what visuals you want to see. So if I press F1, say, let's just load up and then I'll show you what I usually do. So if I press F1, you can see I can view everything from CPU temp, GPU, time, network, MS, how much ping I'm getting, the server, shader, every detail is here, even the FPS. So yeah, F1 by default for me. So if you toggle that, you can only see the latency. So that is how I view all the details here. Let's get back to the settings. Now, that is the graphic settings I'm using. Now we'll move to the game settings. These are the game settings I'm using. Key pickup is disabled. This is something which I changed. It was a short allocation. I moved it to permanent allocation here. The rest is the same, I believe. Moving to interface settings. So one thing I toggled is the show clock. This is very important. Because in the global chat, you would need to see when people are messaging you. So show clock is very important there. These are the rest of the default settings. I didn't change this. This is very important. The map settings. Now landscape transparency, everything should be max for you. So as you can see, this is the map, right? This is the tab button for me, the map view. Now I would recommend you dial this down all the way down so that you can only see the map outline. Map transparency, turn this all the way up, because when it gets very cluttered, you would need that transparency from to be max actually. Map zoom, again this is max. I would prefer here, somewhere here. Too much zoom is not good for me. Somewhere about 20% to something like this. So let me show you how it feels. Save. If you hit tab, you can see the map pretty like decently. Even the waypoints, the pathways, and everything is clear here. So that is how I use my map. This is very important, so I think you should do this as well. Let's get back to the settings. So yeah, that is your map settings. We'll come down to visual sensitivity. Screen shake was on by default. I turned this off. I do not like screen shake in my gameplay, especially for Path of Exile or for Path of Exile 2. Camera rotation effects is on. This is optional, so you can go for it. You can not go for it. It's up to you. Gameplay, everything is fine. I have toggled these on. You can also have these are off by default. I have turned it on just for my own reference. This is optional as well. Cursor, this is a good option for me because in the cluttered situations you are not able to locate your cursor, and the cursor is very important for you. So have such a cursor which you can see clearly. So pink is good, green is good. Have it large so that you can point and fight properly and move properly. Click cursor is on, hover cursor is on. This is chat. Global was on by default. I have turned this off, and the rest is default. So that is your interface settings. For sound, didn't change much here. Just dialed down the master volume to about 10% or 15%, I believe. This should help you properly. Too much sound is not good in this game. Now this is very important. The input. In the beginning, you will be asked whether you want to use mouse and keyboard or WASD. WASD is decent. Even that settings is decent, but I believe you shouldn't use that because there are lots of inputs which goes in to this game. If you use WASD, you will be allocating that to those binds, and then macroing, even microing is going to be difficult for you. So do not go for that. Go for mouse and keyboard. These are my settings. Take a quick look. ASDF are mainly these skills. Shift is my rule. I've changed shift. Skill 1 is left click. Spacebar. Right click is my skill 3. I've changed this to spacebar. It is easier for me to spam those bold spells and those quick spells. And the heavier spells, I've used right click for that. The rest you can see from my binds. I've changed it to my likings. These are again optional, but you can change them to your likings as well. So these keybinds do really help. I would highly recommend you go for that. So there you go. Those are my input settings. Notifications, I didn't change this too much. This is default, so you can put it as default. You can turn these on, and that will help you actually. This is preferential, so go for it. So yeah, that sums up this best settings for Path of Exile 2. I know this is a long video, but every tab here is important, so I highly recommend you take yourself through every tab. Change those settings according to your preferences. You can copy mine as well. These actually help me a lot, so yeah, they will help you as well. If you have liked this guide, do leave a like, comment on your suggestions and questions, and share it with your friends. I'll see you in the next one. Adios.